This weight loss journey is about Gino and his cousin Nico, but we'll start with Gino. Gino has no idea what he weighs. He wakes up every morning feeling like he lifted an entire planet before going to bed. He is aware that his body is giving up on him, but has no idea what to do about the situation. Will Dr. Now be able to help him through his weight loss journey? Let's find it. His story starts like this.
What hurts on my body the most is probably my back, knees, and feet. Overall, my back is the worst. Honestly, the most difficult thing about my day is probably taking a shower. Walking up the stairs feels like I'm carrying cement bags under me and I'm trying to lift them all up the stairs.
Jeez, he looks like an overinflated ball. What was Gino thinking, allowing himself to become this fat? Wow. He even goes on to say that the most difficult part of his day is when he has to take a shower. I would hate myself if I were to be in his shoes.
I just want to be full. And don't tell my mom, but I make the best eggs in the house. She's a good cook, but she's not me. I did go to culinary school, so I do know what I'm doing. But she, of course, still treats me like a little kid. I've been living with her off and on for 31 years now.
I can't be the only one who saw the amount of eggs he cracked and is about to fry. That's enough to feed a family of 8. I very much doubt this dude wants to be better with the way he eats. He can't even stand for 20 minutes without sweating and feeling like he is going to pass out.
Because I was heavy, my mother was heavy, my grandfather was heavy, and so was his father. So he was getting it, no matter what.
I'm grateful for her, but my mom aggravates me sometimes. You want me to do them? Because the 4 can't fit in that pan.
I'm doing just fine.
It looks like we now know where his problem started from. Genoa's mom has always allowed him to eat whatever he wanted in whatever quantities. His mom even says that obesity has always been their family thing, so she's not surprised her son is this big.
Growing up, me and Gino, everyone always thought we were twins. We look a lot alike, and we've always been hefty. We always been by each other's sides. Like, he's my best friend. I love him. He's always been my best friend. He's my wingman.
Nico and I would have eating contests and stuff like that.
Jesus, that's a lot of food. And he actually intends on eating all of that? I am speechless. If only Gino had Dr. Now as his dad. There is no way on earth he is going to be this big. Dr. Now would most definitely not allow it.
It became something I needed in order to feel better emotionally. And by the time I was in the 4th grade, I was already 200 pounds. So after I got divorced, Mom had given full custody of me and my sister. I did see my dad a little less. It was much different. The only constant was food. And by the time I was 13, I weighed almost 300 pounds.
Who wouldn't feel that type of way? Imagine not being able to fit into the desk that everyone fits into. That has to be the most embarrassing thing ever. What's even mind-blowing is the fact that he was already weighing 200 pounds as of when he was in high school.
After culinary school, I got a couple different jobs in a couple different kitchens. But I wasn't able to keep anything for very long. It was like the bigger I got, the more the kitchen couldn't hold me. And I just kept getting bigger. And then I suffered a really bad workplace accident where I blew out my knee on the job.
Did he just say there's no MRI machine that can feed him? Oh my goodness. It's even more annoying knowing that he has a problem with his knee and he still keeps eating so much. If he loves himself, he needs to see Dr. Now as soon as possible.
In my family, we never ran out of food. Here's cereal, your kind that you like. You ate the whole box I got you the other day? Oh, look at this strawberry fluff.
Here, I actually want this.
I actually want to try this.
This is just so annoying to listen to. It's as if his mom is the major reason he is this big. She never tells him no. Every time he wants something to eat, she always gets it for him. Does she know that lifestyle is killing him?
Nice, you didn't break the car or the curb, nice.
Gino, your bag's over there.
To get to Dr. Now on time, I have to do at least 8 hours a day. And that's a lot, but I'm hoping that once I rest...
Honestly, she should know better than to do that to him. I mean, that can't be surprising. Gino finally agrees to see Dr. Now, but it's a long drive to Houston. A couple of hours into the trip, he has to take a break because his back and spine feel like they are about to split into 2. I hope he makes it to the hospital.
I'm really excited.
Here we go, Juice.
I'm really excited.
Here we go, baby.
I'd like to meet him.
Oh, I'm
nervous. How old you guys are nervous?
There's one here and one there. Oh, no.
Well, this is the first day of the rest of your life.
After 6 days on the road due to Gino's condition, the family finally made it to the hospital. Those 6 days were the longest and most painful 6 days of Gino's life because all through the trip, his back felt like they were going to give up on him. Oh well, let's see what Dr. Now has to say.
I'm a little nervous because it's been a long time since I went and weighed myself. I don't want to see a huge increase in my weight. I think it's over 600.
Your weight is 684. And then we're going to go to room 5 now.
Damn. That's a pretty high number.
Ouch! Like he said, that's a pretty high number. Gino finally checks his weight after a long time, and he apparently weighs almost 700 pounds. That's a lot. What scares me is the fact that he might not be able to find the strength and courage to lose all that weight.
And you, the cousin, don't think I'm forgetting you in this. Together with each other, how often you do that?
A lot. Every day. We have that deep culture of eating bad foods and just the bad habits.
Just because the food is there doesn't mean you have to eat it.
Right.
Dr. Now tells them that they need to cut down at least 60 pounds before he considers both Gino and his cousin Nico for weight loss surgery. I love how Dr. Now did not skip his cousin Nico. At least if Nico agrees to lose weight, it's going to be enough motivation for Gino to also lose weight. Let's see how they do.
There is cheese in here, but I don't think it's cheese for you.
It's fine. Just give me a couple pieces.
You can't use that cheese. It's not the low-fat one.
I understand that, but I wouldn't go over calorie if I use a slice. This isn't Russia. Mealtime with Mom, she keeps telling me the same thing over and over. And
Gino's mom is getting frustrated at the fact that her son doesn't want to follow the strict eating habit Dr. Now gave him. Every time she tries to tell him that he can't use a certain ingredient to cook, he just gets upset. Does he even want to meet his target?
that's how strong the bench is. Hope it's strong enough. Oh, yeah. I was holding those bows pretty nice.
This is strong.
Nice.
This thing's very strong. Just think, you were breathing harder than you are now walking to the bathroom a couple weeks ago.
At least, Nico is helping him in other aspects of losing weight. Nico believes that his cousin Gino is starting to shed weight, and that's a good sign. It's really nice to see that they're both doing what's good for their health. Hopefully, they keep it up.
Your weight is 629.
Yeah, baby.
Can step down?
That's pretty impressive. I mean, he is 5 pounds short of his target weight, but it's very impressive that he was able to lose some weight. Looks like he might be cut out for it after all. Is Dr. Now going to be impressed with his results?
Again! But first, our focus is on Houston. We're gonna do what we can to stay on track and find a spot to live. We've been looking for a place, but it's taking a little longer than we
Damn! Who knew they could play volleyball? Once again, I'm impressed by how much energy Gino and Nico are putting into getting better. It's surprising that they could do this all while and only waited till it was almost too late.
You know, adding more years to your life, and it's not like I'm going anywhere. I mean, we've been together like friends for 6 years. Like I trust love that we have for each other. Like I don't think this is gonna break us. I think it's gonna make us stronger. It just, I hope this year flies by fast.
Yeah.
She has to be the best woman ever. Gino has a conversation with his girlfriend about moving close to the dock and how he doesn't want it to break up their relationship. Being the sweet woman that she is, she tells him it's all right. As long as he is getting healthier, things are going to be okay.
Hey, Gina,
Hey, Doc.
how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Well, and look like you lost your weight and you're ready for your surgery.
I'm ready.
You ready? All right, super. All right, we get started in a few minutes, okay?
All right, Doc, thank you.
All right.
Apparently, Gino meets his target for his weight loss journey and is ready to be operated on. His cousin sadly didn't meet the cut, and he has to work harder to meet his target. Dr. Now says that Gino's surgery is a high-risk one because he is still over 500 pounds.
We successfully completed a gastrectomy on Nico. So now he and Gino have an important tool that will help him stay on track. Over the next month, Nico will be on a liquid diet like Gino, and he should lose at least 30 pounds in that time.
Patrick may weigh 657 pounds, but he has one thing going for him: his marriage. His wife Amanda is his caregiver, and they have a great relationship, but she's also the one who indulges his food requests, which makes him so unhealthy, so it's kind of a mixed bag. Can he meet his target for weight loss surgery? I guess we'll see. His story begins like this.
When I wake up and see daylight, I'm surprised to still be alive.
Because my weight is killing me. When I first wake up, I pretty much dread it every day. I dread the first time I get up out of the bed, putting my weight on my legs.
Patrick still finds it difficult getting used to this life where he needs people to help him shower. 5 or 6 years ago, he did not need help, but his weight has grown almost exponentially since then.
I still try and do the things that I can do by myself. Now I'm so big.
My wife, Amanda, she has the helped me do lots that she shouldn't have to help me do.
Having to be helped each day, to not be able to do anything on your own, is extremely devastating. Unfortunately, Patrick cannot help it. It's like being a child again. But if you eat without a care in the world like a child, that's probably where you could end up.
They're hurting him really, really bad. So I try to help him get up in the morning and do whatever needs to be done.
That has to do it all for me,
She's got to put my socks on. She has to help me put my shorts on.
which is just humiliating.
So, what does our man Patrick eat after showering? Let us see if that contributes at all to his present situation.
I have addiction to food.
Because nothing makes me feel as good as I do when I have food in my mouth.
Wow, that is a lot of food. Patrick knows that he is addicted to food. He says that this is partly genetic and because all his siblings are overweight. So in a way, maybe we cannot blame Patrick for being overweight. Anyway, Patrick is now on his way to see Dr. Now and see if he qualifies for weight loss surgery. Dr. Now has some pretty harsh questions for Patrick.
I think you're overweight like this.
Overeating? I eat too much.
You eat too much in one setting, or you eat too much all day?
I probably snack all day, but it's usually one big meal a day and then just snacking throughout the day.
Okay, that was funny, but it is also a bit sad because it shows quite clearly that Patrick's primary problems are his own doing. The baseball bat here is candy, and Patrick keeps smacking his head with it and still complains that it hurts. Well, it is going to hurt Patrick, but Dr. Now isn't done with his questions.
And whether do you work or you stay home with him?
I stay at home.
You stay home. So you said chips and candy. Who buys those? Okay. So the family enables you and gets you what you want. And you just sit around eating and you say you don't know what to do to get better and lose weight.
To Dr. Now, the solution is fairly simple. To Patrick, it is the hardest thing in the world. Patrick says he needs help to stick with healthy eating, but how much help can Dr. Now realistically offer when it comes to that? Anyway, Dr. Now does his best and gives Patrick a lifeline.
But if you don't follow it, there's not much we can do for you, okay? All right. So I'm going to give you some instruction what to eat, what not to eat. They're going to give you some instruction about exercise.
Well, it can be a very easy thing to do, Dr. Now, but it is a very hard thing for someone like Patrick to do. If he could simply follow a diet, he would not be on this show in the first place. Patrick did make some progress. He lost around 40 pounds. When he presented himself to Dr. Now, he was asked to lose another 100 pounds in the next 2 months.
Step up on the scale.
So that would put me at 516. That's not good.
So he lost a bit of weight, but instead of continuing on his journey, he went back and gained even more. You can already guess how Dr. Now will respond to this behavior.
How many hours did you have to drive?
About 11.
1 day or 2 days or what?
No, we just drive straight here.
Well, all that travel put a lot of strain on your body with your weight and your condition.
That is just it. The half-baked, half-good, quarter-sensible, and utterly pathetic excuses do not work. The problem was that our man Patrick was not eating right, and his excuses are simply not going to cut it.
Telling me you didn't follow the diet and you were sick, and why come in all the way to tell me that?
I don't know.
So what is your objective here? What do you expect that we can do for you?
But Patrick is not going to take all of this lying down. In fact, he becomes defensive and tells Dr. Now not to worry about doing any regular checkups for him, since there is nothing he can do about his weight.
But in the meantime, I don't have an answer for you. You have to figure that out. So we get the updated blood work on you, see how bad you're
We don't need to do all that. You have no answers for it.
Answer for what?
You said you have no answers for it.
Well, if Patrick was that tired, he would have followed the diet plan and not turned up to the hospital with even more added pounds. But Dr. Now's words seem to have had an effect. It is a new day, and Patrick has decided to do something that shows his seriousness about losing his weight and getting healthier.
This month I decided to join a gym so that I can get a trainer and push myself even harder. It's a little scary and intimidating to go out and do something like this.
All right, yep, so we're pushing. Here you go.
There you go, good.
All the way down to mat. Now we're gonna lean backwards and come back.
The gym was great. His trainer was really proud of him and how hard he worked at their sessions. Patrick worked hard at the diet and exercising for about a month and then went to a local clinic to see where his weight was at. Let's see what the scale says.
Okay, go ahead and step up on the scale.
At my last appointment, I was at 642. Dr. Now told me that I need to lose at least 80 pounds over the last 2 months. So if I made it to that, I'll be at 562 today.
While Patrick did not meet his goal, he lost 51 pounds and got below the 600-pound mark. This meant there was a huge chance that Dr. Now would approve him for surgery. All that hard work finally paid off. When he spoke to Dr. Now, he was told to lose 30 more pounds within a month, but Patrick could not do that. He could only lose 1 more pound.
Well, if you eat what you're eating, you're going to be the same weight. So what's the point of coming to Houston if you're not doing what you need and losing more weight?
I don't know.
So what is your objective moving in Houston?
Get weight loss surgery, lose weight. That's my objective, to lose weight.
Essentially, Patrick needs to pump those numbers up. Dr. Now says that Patrick must start thinking that the weight will shorten his lifespan. The good news is that Doctor schedules Patrick's surgery for a month from this meeting and says that if he loses those 30 pounds, he will go ahead with the surgery.
The pound you should have to get surgery, you should be under 560 pounds. 563, so you lost 27 pounds, huh? All right, close enough. All right, we go ahead and do surgery, okay?
The surgery was successful, and Patrick finally got what he wanted after losing over 100 pounds in under a year. This means that with surgery and the same lifestyle changes, he could even start dreaming of living a normal life.
25 pounds. And after that, Patrick should lose 20 to 25 pounds each one until he gets close to his target weight. It took him a little longer, but he's down around 100 pounds.
Imagine how it feels to be scared of walking downstairs in your home because you're terrified you'll fall through the stairs. That's exactly how Scarita lives her life. Today she is scared of falling through her home's staircase because she's too heavy, but tomorrow she could fall through the ground and find herself in a casket. She begins her journey like this.
I don't sleep well at night at all. I'm a night owl. I'm up constantly all night. I'm scared to sleep, if I could be honest about it. I'm scared that I'm not gonna wake up. I done had some health scares and...
She is not lying though. Her life is essentially an all-you-can-eat buffet of pain. She is so heavy that she is scared of falling through the floor. Her condition is so bad that she cannot stand long enough to have a shower every day, so she just takes a shower every other day.
So I tried not to depend on my family so much because sometimes they enable me a little too much. So I try to depend on myself before I ask for help. My husband does a lot.
At least she has a husband who cares for her. Her husband says he knows that food is a coping mechanism for her and a crutch she uses to deal with her condition, so he indulges her food requests. He may be feeding her to death, and that is the worst thing a man can do to his wife.
Feel what you wanted. It's like peace and war. Do I want war or do I want peace? If I give in, I'll have peace. If I don't, it'll be a constant nagging about it.
Food fulfills me. It fulfills empty voids that...
Well, from the food she eats, we can see why Scarita weighs 603 pounds. We all know that Dr. Now has a wicked tongue, but Scarita hopes that this tongue does not lash her too much. But her hopes are in vain, because Dr. Now does not spare Scarita at all.
When you eat food, do you feel comfort?
I do.
But do you feel guilty afterward?
Yes, I do.
So you have a cycle of going to food for comfort and eating what you know you shouldn't. So why haven't you made any changes to that cycle?
Earlier in the episode, Lawrence, Scarita's husband, said that he mostly gives her the food she wants so that he can get peace. So what does Lawrence have to say about the claims that Scarita bullies him so that he can feed her?
So what does he have to say about that? Am I right?
That's a good one.
Pretty much. He don't want to argue with you, right?
That's what it is.
After the meeting, Dr. Now suggests that Scarita loses 60 pounds before she can get surgery. But does Scarita lose weight needed to have that surgery? Does she look like someone who can do it? After 2 months, the results are in. She only lost 12 pounds.
What happened to the diet instruction we gave you? Did you read those papers?
I did.
How many times you read it?
I read it. Actually, I read it a couple times because I was showing...
A couple times. The deal was you read it every night.
Dr. Now gives her such a tongue lashing that she cannot help but cry about her weight and her efforts.
Be the solution for your problem. You know, instead of being 140, you're not 240, you're not 340, you're not 440, you're not 540, you're 591. So how long your body is going to tolerate all that extra weight that you're putting on there?
This means that it is back to the drawing board for Scarita, and boy does she work hard at losing weight. She works so hard that by the time she gets back to old, good tongue-lashing Dr. Now, she's lost an incredible 59 pounds in total.
Well, it looked like you lost a little bit more weight this time.
Yes.
It isn't as much as it should be, but it is a good improvement, so I'm happy about that.
Before you get started, can I have your thing for a souvenir? I like the little jewelry.
What are you talking about?
She's trying to take your stethoscope.
Yeah, I'm trying to take that home with me.
Sarita knows she has a long way to go, but somehow things got even worse for her. 4 months later, she'd gained 9 pounds instead of losing 25 pounds in 1 month. The horror, and she had such a promising future.
Back up a little bit. Okay, you think your weight isn't mostly about your eating habit?
I feel like I've been doing
That's not the question. Just stick with the question. Don't go off.
Okay.
So, you think your weight has to do with your eating habit, correct?
Correct.
All things considered, that was not the worst tongue lashing we have ever seen from Dr. Now, but it still worked. Sarita went to food therapy, did food journaling, and worked out, and by the end of the show, she'd lost a total of 97 pounds, and now weighed 506 pounds, making her meet her target.
It's gonna be a hard work that you need to stick with it, okay? All right, so keep up with the therapy and keep up with your healthy eating habit, and we'll see how we do in next 2 months.
Imagine food being the only thing that makes you stand up from the bed every day. Well, that's David's life summed up. David has gotten so fat that he gets stuck while trying to get out of his vehicle. Ridiculous, right? At this point, the only person who can save him is Dr. Now. This is how his weight loss journey begins.
That's when my weight really been taking its toll. I take muscle relaxers for my back. And then heavy prescription pain pills. Probably like 8 different pills. Everything is such a struggle. Just painful to move around right now.
Hell no. Did you guys see how hard and how long it took him to get up from the bed? At some point, I thought he was not going to be able to stand up. Jeez. David, what have you done to your body? Does he even get out of the house?
Getting dressed, the hardest thing I do all day. But I have my foster mom, Robin, to help me when I need help. If it wasn't for her, I would have given up on myself by now. Hey, Robin, can you help me put on my socks?
David is part of my family, and I claim him as a son. You about ready for breakfast?
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness she is in his life. Imagine if he did not have her, his life would honestly be a mess. He even said that there was a time he fell down and was able to lift himself up. Bro, I would hate myself if that happened to me.
Eat as much as I could when a meal was given to me, because sometimes you wouldn't know you're gonna get fed again for days. Around the time I was 3, I got placed with a permanent foster family, the Nelsons. So the Nelsons wanted to adopt me. So I got adopted at 6, but my dad was kind of a scary figure.
That explains why he eats a lot. David has always been in foster care. His foster parents would always beat him, and he hated his childhood. The only thing that made him happy as a child was food. Being that he also wasn't eating well, he ate a lot because he never knew when next he would see his next meal. That is just sad.
Living with Robin is the best environment in foster care I've ever dealt with. She took me in as one of her own. When she introduced me, she said, "This is my son, David." She was always there to help me with my homework, and I went down from about 350 down to 280 because she was making me go to the gym twice a day. And
that explains why his other foster parents kicked him out. Robin, his new foster mother, took him in and made him feel at home. She even helped him cut down some of his weight, but when he got into the university, everything went downhill. He started drinking and partying and adding more weight.
I wanted to see the United States, and I could afford to because when I was sleeping in my semi-truck, but at the same time, on an emotional level, but there's not a lot of things that brought me that much happiness. My weight built up to 800 pounds. And one day I woke up, I started thinking about suicide.
That must honestly be very sad. David says that he got depressed, and there was a time in his life that all he could think about was taking his own life. He had gotten so fat that he couldn't even do anything with himself. All he wanted to do was die. That must really suck.
And walking just a few feet, pretty painful.
All right, we'll stay out of the candy aisle. Don't be looking at the pizzas.
Get some eggnog.
That's not low-cal. I was nervous about going with David to the grocery store. It was good to get him out.
If we're being honest, David makes a lot of bad food choices. All he wants to eat is junk food and things that have very high calories, which aren't good for his health. He can't even walk 5 steps without taking a break. His mom needs to put a leash on his eating style.
Besides laying down, even sitting sometimes gets painful. My food problem is killing me by, weighing down my heart, and my back's already messed up. I live every day in despair. It's time for me to...
I'm glad he knows this. He sleeps with oxygen because he has breathing problems, and he is scared that someday he might go to bed and not wake up the next morning. I think it's time for him to meet the doc. This has gone on for way too long. unbelievable. Is he stuck? My goodness. David finally decides to make his way by to Houston, where he is going to meet Dr. Now. It's a long drive, so he decides to break the journey. Guess what? He can't get out of the vehicle.
Try that. It's gotta help.
It's been a little while since I weighed myself, and I know I've gotten worse since then. I just hope that I'm in the 600s. Ready?
You can step up on the scale. Your weight is 763.
Wow, he weighs 763 pounds? Damn, that is a lot. David was hoping that he wouldn't weigh more than 600 pounds, but sadly, his weight is way more than that. Slimming down from 763 pounds is not going to be easy. But first, let's see what Dr. Now has to say.
Days.
Yeah.
So, that's a big trip, and it's going to take a toll on your body going back and forth.
Right.
So it's going to be important you move down here, okay?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Well, I'm glad Dr. Now wants to help him. He tells David to lose 80 pounds in 2 months so he can meet the target weight for his weight loss surgery. Will he be able to meet the cut? I guess we're going to see. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got to where you needed to be mentally to start making the changes you need. So that's good. And I'm glad you lost 67 pounds.
Thanks,
But
man.
that's a starting point. But with your progress, this is what I will do.
Good one, David. After working hard to meet his target weight, he falls short, but just by a few pounds. Dr. Now tells him to move down to Houston, and if he is able to lose 30 pounds in a month, he is going to get his surgery done. David is doing really well, and it's impressive to see him work towards being better.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And I guess I'll just have to get back on track and lose the weight.
Yeah?
Yep.
You feeling pretty good about it?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before. I can do it again, so I'll do it.
Okay, well, I'm sure the doctor will be coming in soon and we'll...
Oh, come on. David was doing so well, and now he goes on to add more weight, making Dr. Now cancel the weight loss surgery. Men! That's really disappointing for real. Let's hope he can work hard once again to meet his target and have this surgery done once and for all.
Have a seat right over there.
All right. Okay. Oh, man, what?
Welcome.
Seeing that David was still finding it difficult to meet his target, Dr. Now suggested that he go see a therapist, and maybe that would help with his ability to cut down his weight. So far, it seems like David has a lot bottled up in his heart. Would this be enough for him to get surgery?
And because of your progress, I'm going to give you an easy goal this time. This time I want you to lose 45 pounds in 2 months. And if you do that, I'm going to approve you for weight loss surgery. You think you can do that?
Sometimes it feels like I'm dead. I cannot do the things that normal people take for granted, like walking to the bathroom. This is my bed, this is my bathroom, this is my dinner table.
But prisoners in jail do not get the sort of meals that Penny gets. She might feel horrible 70% of the time, but whenever she has a feast in front of her, Penny starts to glow. It is food addiction at its worst, and it is ruining her life.
I don't feel good. I might as well be a prisoner in jail. It's gonna be good. Food addiction has become my life. Hey, Ed, I need a paper towel. I started out just like anyone else, and every time I had a problem...
The good thing is that Penny recognizes that she has got a problem. The next step is to find a solution to that problem. And that starts in Houston, Texas, where she has to meet Dr. Now. Let's see what Dr. Now has to say about her weight problem.
Penny is very large, but to know her situation, I need to examine her and see how much she weighs. We're gonna check your weight now, okay?
This is the largest fish in the market.
Okay. A normal body mass index is about 20. 35 is morbidly obese. Over 40 is super morbidly obese.
Gosh, so she is super duper morbidly obese. Dr. Now runs his tests, and his final verdict is damning. He doesn't just think Penny has physical problems that have to do with her weight. He also thinks she has mental issues that may be hindering her from losing that weight.
Penny got a lot of issues. Some of them are real, some of them are imaginary. It seems like she played a role of being a victim and encouraging family to be enabler. And this dynamic is very difficult to break.
Very difficult to break indeed. He puts Penny under a strict diet and asks her to lose 25 pounds. He says if she can do that, then she will be ready for weight loss surgery. But does it work? Well, yes, Penny does lose 40 pounds.
Hello. So, how are you feeling?
I definitely can feel the difference when I start losing weight. So I don't even have the roll that I normally punch my insulin into.
So you're missing your roll?
I'm absolutely missing a roll.
Penny done very well. She lost 40 pounds and heroin. She still has a lot of issues.
But she did this while in the hospital and under a strict diet. So while it is impressive, there is no guarantee that she will be able to keep up after the surgery. The surgery goes well, but Penny is having some issues with recovery.
The operation we're going to do today is called sleeve gastrectomy. It simply just reduces the size of stomach and help her eat less. We're going to reduce the size of stomach from the size of football.
And that is precisely what happened. She was absolutely not able to maintain her weight loss, which meant that the entire surgery was a waste of everyone's time. Of course, Dr. Now is extraordinarily mad at this turn of events.
This is so stupid. I gotta find out why my diet is this diet. No one told me I had to lose weight when I got here.
I'm very concerned about Penny's behavior. She's not losing weight anymore. She's being given the right diet. There is no reason why she shouldn't lose more weight while she's in the hospital. Penny must have somebody sneaking her food.
Now, did Penny change? Numbers, she never changed. Dr. Now believes she has now convinced herself that she is permanently disabled, and as a result, he will not be able to help her. The project is over for her, and she has failed to make the changes she needs to live a healthy life.
Penny is going to have to make some changes when she go home. If she has any chance to succeed, she needs to be mobile.
I'm gonna lose the weight. It's over and done. I just need to be home with my family.
Shauna is a 22-year-old lady who weighs over 600 pounds. Yes, you did not hear wrong. Everything scares her. From the moment she wakes up in the morning to the moment she goes to bed. She is in constant fear that her body is going to give up on her someday. Will she be able to achieve her weight loss goal? Well, here is how her journey begins.
But I don't want him to ever have to help me with this, or ask anyone to do that for me. But it's already almost too hard for me to do all the time. So sometimes I think about just not doing it. But then when you're big like me and have all these folds, you chafe a lot. And then you get blisters and sores, and that can get infected easily.
That is honestly just sad. Shauna hates everything about herself. She has so many sores on her body, and it's very difficult for her to scrub those places because of her size. Wow, how did she allow herself to get this big? That's crazy.
My legs and my feet disgust me the most about my body. They don't even seem human anymore. None of me does. So I don't even want to look at myself at all anymore. Because I'm embarrassed at what I've done to myself in my life. I'm 22 years old.
The food is always there, but the body tends to always give up in the long run. Shauna is starting to understand this the hard way. She feels sad because her friends and mates are having so much fun in college, and she can't do that because she let food get the best of her life and body.
G? No. Can you give me some burritos? Okay. And hash browns?
Okay. How many do you want?
4.
Okay.
4 burritos and
4 burritos and what?
6 hash browns.
Okay. Shauna to me is more like family than a friend, and I just want to see her happy. I try to help as much as I can, but every time I cook something or I help her prepare her meals, I give it to her in portions.
Even her friend can't seem to get her to eat in controlled amounts. He says that anytime he gives her food in controlled portions, she is never satisfied with the food. He never wants to see her sad or unhappy, so he just gives her whatever she wants to eat. Very unhealthy decision, if you ask me.
Once I'm eating, I won't think about things that are sad. How can I help? Can I please have a large stuffed crust pepperoni pizza? The cinnamon bites thing, and that's all. Thank you.
There is no way she just ordered a large size of pizza after just eating 6 burritos. Is she being for real? How does she expect to lose weight if she eats like the world is coming to an end? Jeez. She needs to be on a leash. A diet is not going to solve her problem.
He wasn't easy to get along with. And I should have walked away years before, but we stayed together for a while.
My mom never really knew how bad things were between me and my dad. She knew some of it, but what's the way he did when we were alone.
In a way, that kind of explains why she turned to food as her comfort. Her childhood is a very rough one. Her dad was very abusive, and the only way she could console herself from all his yelling was to eat anything she could find. Does food really solve anything?
Perspective was that I had food as my friend, so I didn't need anyone or anything else. So my weight gain continued and got even worse when I was a teenager. By the time I was in high school, I was already around 400 pounds. I just nonstop ate. I didn't care. If I saw it and I wanted it, I ate it.
She dropped out of school? Damn. Seems like her childhood really did a number on her. Crazy thing is she dropped out of school at the age of 16. What more could go wrong at this point? At least she had her mom for emotional support. Imagine if her mom was not around. Who knows what would have happened?
It got really bad and I just shut off. I was in this downward spiral until my mom came and got me.
After about a month of me not being able to contact her consistently without him interfering, I finally went up there.
First she had a horrible father and now a boyfriend that was an addict? Oh my goodness. It's almost like the forces of evil in the world were against Shauna and her mother. I'm happy she was able to leave her ex-boyfriend and her mom was able to leave her dad. Except the result was that Shauna now weighs over 600 pounds.
No, thank you. Oh, I miss you so much. Good?
So what's new?
Nothing.
Own. It's really beautiful to see Shauna and her mother get along so well, but her mom is worried sick about her daughter. She feels like if she does not cut down her eating habits, she might end up dead someday, and that would be the most heartbreaking thing for her. She needs to meet up with Dr. Now as soon as possible.
And Dr. Now is tomorrow. So if this truck isn't big enough, I'm not sure what my options are going to be to get to Houston and do this.
Yay! She was able to fit into the truck. To be honest, I wasn't sure she would be able to sit properly in the truck. She proved me wrong. Her weight loss journey seems to kick off on a pretty good note. Could I be wrong again? Let's leave that for Dr. Now to decide.
Shauna?
But I don't know what he's gonna say. So I'm just really afraid right now of what's gonna happen. I just hope it's good and I get a chance. Because I don't know what I weigh anymore.
That's not good at all. She weighs over 600 pounds. One thing I know is that Dr. Now is going to be hard on her. If she really wants to cut down all this weight and come back to her dream body, she has to put in the work.
Okay, so use food to cope. So, Shauna, you need to learn how you're going to correct your eating habit, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to start with the 1,200 calorie a day, high protein, low carb diet. So I'll give you a packet that breaks the whole diet down where you eat only 3 times a day, no snacking. You think you can do that?
Yes, sir.
Ha ha ha. With that look, there is no way Shauna is going to meet that goal. The moment Dr. Now said that she has to lose 80 pounds in 2 months without snacking, she felt like she was about to go through her worst nightmare. If she wants to get there, she has to put in the work.
What I want to do is keep doing the diet I am now and make it enough. So I'm trying the hardest I can, but it's just not easy. It's been 2 months since my Dr. Now appointment. And I was supposed to be back for another one sometime last week, but I was too scared to go.
What? She can't find the papers with instructions on how to diet that Dr. Now gave her? She can't be serious. It's pretty obvious that she's being lazy with the whole thing. Pretty much explains why she is scared to talk to Dr. Now. He would be so disappointed in her.
If I called back and said I lost them?
Why should we get mad at you because you lost something?
I don't know, I just thought you'd get mad.
Well, if you didn't have the diet and you didn't know what to do.
Oh, she had this coming. She finally decided to summon the courage to call Dr. Now, and he did not spare her one bit. But can you really blame him? She wasted 3 months and has still not been able to cut down any weight.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. And who is the partner with you?
My cousin Derek.
Nice to meet you. All right, Shauna, it's 3 months later, and you haven't lost any weight. So what's going on?
I didn't read the booklet because I lost it again.
I'm as mad as Dr. Now is right now. She lost the papers again? What exactly does she want this time around? Let's not forget the fact that she still did not meet her target weight even after an extra month was given to her. If I were Dr. Now, I would give up on her for real.
And it doesn't seem to matter to you. You're in the world that doesn't exist. And you got like a cocoon around yourself and you're not seeing the reality of what's going on. And you depend on everybody else to make those changes for you. okay?
He isn't wrong, to be honest. It's her life, and no one is going to help her lose all this weight except herself. If she really wants to get it going, she better drop that lazy attitude and start to eat healthy.
I still haven't found a place to live because all my energy is going into what I need to get my weight down to the goal I'm supposed to have. So I'm hoping that I finally lost some weight and did it this time.
Shauna?
At my last weigh-in, I was 650. And the goal I have now from Dr. Now is to lose 50 pounds.
Surprising. Honestly, I am speechless. She was able to eventually lose some weight. I'm impressed. I mean, it's not the weight Dr. Now wanted her to lose, but she was able to cut down a little. Let's see what the doc has to say.
Finally did, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll see you later.
Thank you.
I'm glad to see Shauna had some weight loss in this time and that she's moved down here to Houston since she lost her support system back home.
And there you have it. The doc is proud that she was able to cut down some of her weight, but sadly, she still did not make it to her goal. Looks like she still needs to put in work before he approves for surgery. Wow, he did recommend that she see a therapist. Let's see how that's going.
Oh, I was born, yes, until I was 4.
Do you know what pulled your parents apart?
My dad's abusiveness. And him and her just not getting along.
Do you know if he was abusive to you?
Oh, he was.
Sadly, Shawn eventually died a few years after appearing on the show, but his inspiring story of overcoming his eating demons will inspire anyone. When he first came on the show, he weighed an incredible 900 pounds, which makes him one of the heaviest men to have ever lived. It also made his morning routine hell on earth. Here is how his story began.
So big now I can hardly move. All I can do on my own is scooch to the edge of my bed, go to the bathroom, and see if my mom's awake. I can get up, but I can only walk a few steps. So I just stay here in this bed no matter what. I can't do anything for myself anymore.
For a mother to have to bathe, feed, and clothe her child at that age is depressing. But she has to because Shawn has no help from anyone. Shawn is so big that cleaning him alone is a very huge chore. It is also a really disgusting chore.
Problem is they can get worse really easy. So every day we have to take care of them. And it is a painful process.
Ready, babe? Hang on, I gotta get my shoulder into this. Okay. He's very difficult to move, and it's very hard for me to lift this large mass on his side.
It is so bad that he cannot even go to the restroom properly, and his mom and her helper have to clean his backside for him.
It's time to shake, Mom.
Okay, we're almost done. 2 seconds, okay. Let me get this corner down. All right, you should be good, honey. There you go. Okay, good job. Okay.
It is clear that Shawn wants out of this condition, but does he want out enough to abandon the one thing that is contributing the most to his weight gain? Does he want out enough to abandon food?
I keep snacks under my covers just to make sure I have something nearby when I want to eat. Hey, Mom, I'm probably going to need a little snack.
Shawn has no appetite control. He's hungry incessantly.
So Shawn cannot control his appetite and lives with his mother, who enables him. But at least he has the strength to go and see Dr. Now and find out if he can get weight loss surgery. However, Dr. Now, as anyone would expect, is not so pleased with the situation at home.
Shawn, you feeling okay?
No pain. Everything. I'm not used to staying in a wheelchair.
Okay, you don't want to go any further. I will examine you here.
I've had to do more in the last 15 minutes I've had to in a while.
Dr. Now already knows Shawn's problems. He says that Shawn is probably eating up to 20,000 calories a day. And his mother is the one bringing him all that food. And while Shawn is in the wheelchair, he has an accident. And this means exactly what you think it means.
Shawn is used to his mother completely taking care of him. As long as she does everything for him, Shawn has no reason to leave, and she controls him with the food. We have to start making drastic changes with him, starting with his home situation.
So how will his home situation change? Dr. Now asks him to lose 100 pounds by their next meeting, and Shawn says he will do his best to do that, but his best is clearly not enough.
Shawn is so big right now, he cannot make it to the waiting room door. He's worse half now, and he looked like he maybe put another 50 to 100 pounds on. Yeah, edema is getting much worse. At this point, he may be approaching 1,000 pounds.
His case is truly pathetic. Dr. Now knows that his case is extremely bad, so he takes matters into his own hands by admitting him into the hospital immediately. In the hospital, it was easy to control his diet, and after 2 months, he has lost a lot of weight.
When Shawn arrived here, we were able to weigh him, and he was 1,003 pounds. But we started him on 800 calorie a day controlled diet, and he started losing weight rapidly.
But do they make those changes they say they want? Dr. Now wants him to lose 100 pounds within a month, but does that work? Well, the next time he comes to the hospital, he is complaining about some chest pain. Dr. Now thinks something is fishy.
Shawn came to the hospital claiming he was having chest pain and worried he was having heart attack. I suspect that he was making it up to try to get out of his physical therapy and his diet plan, and I think I'm right about that.
Wow, that is so manipulative of Shawn. Dr. Now gives Shawn an ultimatum of 2 months and says he should not come back if he has not lost 150 pounds in those 2 months. Will Shawn do it? Well, your mind will be blown by what actually happened.
6:36, cutting it close, but you did it. So we're gonna approve you for surgery.
Thank you. It's been a hard journey, but it's well worth it.
I'm proud of you. I'll see you later, okay? All right.
After Tara got sexually assaulted at age 26, she turned to food for comfort. But instead of just comforting her, food ruined her life. Today, she says she often feels tempted to take a knife and cut her stomach away. And you would probably feel that way too if you looked like this.
Being the size, it's a lot of things in my life that's hard. Because of my size, I don't do much of anything. I don't move much. Basically, my day is in the bed, stuck.
Imagine having a stomach like that. Tara knows it is disgusting, but there is nothing she can do to help it. Well, there is one thing she does, and that is to continue eating, because food takes away that pain that she always feels.
When I was 26, I was raped, and I got pregnant from the rape. And I had a miscarriage. I was heavy, but afterwards, I kept getting heavier.
That just shows how trauma can fuel an unhealthy cycle. Tara's story is not new, and like many others, she felt that a great way to avoid being molested is to get so unattractive that men would not want to touch her. While that plan may have worked, it also means she now weighs over 600 pounds and is on the brink of death. What makes things worse is that her mother enables her.
After I eat, I feel disgusted, angry at myself. I beat myself up about it.
I'm helping her to stay like she is because it's hard to serve her and tell her that's all you can have.
That is so touching. The love that Tara's mother has for her is so moving, but that love is destructive and is the reason she lives such a horrible life. Tara hopes that she will be able to get weight loss surgery by going to meet Dr. Now, and Dr. Now has some very hard words for her.
What seems to be a problem that you're not able to lose weight?
My knees hurt me a lot, so I can't go and exercise.
Here's a couple things that you need to understand.
Yes, sir.
You don't get to be 600 pounds if you are able to eat properly. It's because you're taking too many calories.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is right. She is not. She has a mother who can't stop giving her all the food she wants because she finds it impossible to say no to her child. Dr. Now decides to speak to her mother, and here is how that discussion goes.
We need to make those transition now to have some weight loss and be in better shape for surgery.
Okay.
Before we move ahead with the surgery, she needs to lose 20 pounds over next month.
Will she be able to lose 20 pounds in 1 month? Well, she is motivated to do it. She wants to be there for her 2 young children more than she wants food to be there for her. But motivation is not the only thing you need to lose weight. You have to be determined as well. The next time Tara turns up at the hospital, this happens.
But I'm excited to see the results.
You know, your weight loss is not being impressive. So I think you can do better.
Yes, sir.
It's some progress, but it's not a whole lot of weight loss.
That is right. Tara can certainly do better with her progress. Dr. Now wants to see just how bad her skin condition is and asks her to pull her shirt off. That is when he understands just how bad her body looks.
It hangs pretty low.
You got some sort of skin infection in the skin too. Okay. Tara is physically in critical condition. She needs intervention now. I don't think you can go much longer like this.
Yes, sir.
Because Tara is in critical condition, Dr. Now immediately schedules her for surgery without asking her to lose more weight. He knows that if he sends her back home without the surgery, there is a big chance that she will pass away before she returns to the hospital. So the surgery is scheduled, and here is how it goes.
Because of the adhesion and prior surgery, we have to change the bypass surgery to sleeve gastrectomy. Push it back just about any. Sleeve gastrectomy is a lesser invasive procedure which remove part of stomach and make it small from size of football to size of banana.
By the end of the episode, Tara had lost nearly 300 pounds and now has a new lease of life. She also had skin surgery to lose the excessive skin, and she now looks like a brand new woman.
But today, I can't wait to get on it.
610 to 320, you're almost a half of weight that you used to be, huh?
Thank you. Thank you very much. You turned my life around. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm proud of Tara, how far she has come, and she's doing great.
David's life is summed up by the fact that food is the only thing that gets him out of bed every day. He has gotten so fat that he gets stuck trying to get out of his vehicle, which is ridiculous. At this point, the only person who can save him is Dr. Now, and his weight loss journey begins.
It started getting so bad. I'm in agonizing pain. That's when my weight really been taking its toll. I take muscle relaxers for my back, and then heavy prescription pain pills. Probably like 8 different pills. Everything is such a struggle.
Hell no. Did you guys see how hard and how long it took him to get up from the bed? At some point, I thought he was not going to be able to stand up. Geez, David, what have you done to your body? Does he even get out of the house?
Getting dressed is the hardest thing I do all day. But I have my foster mom, Robin, to help me when I need help. If it wasn't for her, I would have given up on myself by now. Hey, Robin, can you help me put on my socks?
Okay, where's your socks? David is part of my family, and I claim him as a son. You about ready for breakfast?
Yeah.
We'll get that started.
Oh, thank heavens she is in his life. Imagine if he didn't have her. His life would undoubtedly be a wreck. He even admitted that he once fell down, but was able to get back up. Bro, I would not be able to lie with myself if that happened to me.
Eat as much as I could when a meal was given to me, because sometimes you wouldn't know you're gonna get fed again for days. Around the time I was 3, I got placed with a permanent foster family, the Nelsons. So the Nelsons wanted to adopt me.
This explains why he eats so much. David has always been in foster care. His foster parents would constantly beat him, and he despised his childhood. As a child, his primary source of happiness was food. He ate a lot since he didn't know when his next meal would be. That's just sad.
Living with Robin is the best environment in foster care I've ever dealt with. She took me in as one of her own. When she introduced me, she said, "This is my son, David." She was always there. She'd help me with my homework, and I went down from about 350 down to 280.
His prior foster parents expelled him for this reason. Robin, his new foster mother, welcomed him and made him feel at home. She even helped him to lose a few pounds. However, once he enrolled in university, things took a bad turn. He started drinking, going out, and adding more weight. Phew, if only there was someone to help him through all this.
I wanted to see the United States, and I could afford to because when I was sleeping in my semi-truck, I didn't have to pay rent, so I got to see all the states. I didn't leave the road for a year. This was pretty cool.
That must honestly be very sad. David says that he got depressed, and there was a time in his life that all he could think about was taking his own life. He had gotten so fat that he couldn't even do anything with himself. All he wanted to do was die. That must really suck.
And walking just a few feet, it's pretty painful.
All right, stay out of the candy aisle. Don't be looking at the pizzas.
Get some eggnog.
That's not low-cal.
No, but it's delicious.
I was nervous about going with David to the grocery store. It was good to get him out and moving, and I was really proud that he made it through a number of the aisles, but his food choices are terrible.
If we're being honest, David makes a lot of bad food choices. All he wants to eat is junk food and things that have very high calories, which aren't good for his health. He can't even walk 5 steps without taking a break. If only his mom would help him do better with his eating habit.
At this weight, nothing's easy, besides laying down. Even sitting sometimes gets painful. My food problem is killing me by, weighing down my heart. And my back's already messed up. I live every day in despair.
I'm glad he knows this. He He sleeps with oxygen because he has breathing problems, and he is scared that someday he might go to bed and not wake up the next morning. I think it's time for him to meet the doc. This has gone on for way too long.
I'm stuck.
Unbelievable. Is he stuck? My goodness. David finally decides to make his way by to Houston, where he is going to meet Dr. Now. It's a long drive, so he decides to break the journey. Guess what? He can't get out of the vehicle? Wow.
Try that. It's gotta help.
David?
It's been a little while since I weighed myself, and I know I've gotten worse since then. I just hope that I'm in the 600s. Ready to go?
You can step up on the scale. Your weight is 763.
He weighs 763 pounds? Damn. That is a lot. David was hoping that he wouldn't weigh more than 600 pounds, but sadly, his weight is way more than that. Slimming down from 763 pounds is not going to be easy. But first, let's see what Dr. Now has to say.
You know, that's a big trip, and it's going to take a toll on your body going back and forth.
Right.
So it's going to be important you move down here, okay?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad Dr. Now wants to help him. He tells David to lose 80 pounds in 2 months so he can meet the target weight for his weight loss surgery. Will he be able to meet the cut? I guess we're going to see. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I'm glad you got to where you needed to be mentally to start making the changes you need. So that's good. And I'm glad you lost 67 pounds.
Thanks,
But
man.
that's a starting point. But with your progress, this is what I will do. I'll approve you for weight loss surgery and schedule it for 2 months from now.
Good one, David. After working hard to meet his target weight, he falls short but just by a few pounds. Dr. Now tells him to move down to Houston, and if he is able to lose 30 pounds in a month, he is going to get his surgery done. David is doing really well, and it's impressive to see him work towards being better.
The last time, hopefully I can still get the surgery.
Ooh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. What if they postpone it?
And I guess I'll just have to get back on track and lose the weight.
Yeah?
Yep.
You feeling pretty good about it?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before. I can do it again, so I'll do it.
Oh, come on. David was doing so well, and now he goes on to add more weight, making Dr. Now cancel the weight loss surgery. Man, that's really disappointing for real. Let's hope he can work hard once again to meet his target and have this surgery done once and for all.
What's up, Doc?
I'm glad you made it. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was raised in foster care. My mom was 13 years old.
Seeing that David was still finding it difficult to meet his target, Dr. Now suggested that he go see a therapist, and maybe that would help with his ability to cut down his weight. So far, it seems like David has a lot bottled up in his heart. Would this be enough for him to get surgery?
And because of your progress, I'm going to give you an easy goal this time. This time I want you to lose 45 pounds in 2 months. And if you do that, I'm going to approve you for weight loss surgery. You think you can do that?
Yes.
I'm too big to sleep in a normal bed, so I have to sleep on a mattress 1 foot off the floor. And to get to my feet, I roll forward out of bed really fast, kind of like a somersault. I lean back and then I...
Man, he must really hate his life at this point. Imagine having to go through all of this every single day. I would honestly lose my mind if I were in his shoes. It's amazing that he has not given up or allowed his weight to get the best of him. I wonder how he got this fat.
When I take a shower, I can't stand up in the tub for, 5 minutes at most before I end up sitting back down on the side of the tub. I'm trying to keep up with my own cleaning, but things lately been getting pretty bad. I live by myself. My ex and her husband sometimes will come over to help me.
That's sad. Chris says that he lives all by himself, and sometimes his ex and her husband come to check on him. As much as he hates asking them for help, he doesn't have a choice. Asking for help makes him feel like a failure and is just heartbreaking.
Which makes it really uncomfortable to stand in the kitchen for a long period of time, so I actually have to sit on a cooler that I sit on when I cook. I make the meal with my stomach, not with my brain, so I have a really big meal, and when I start eating, as soon as I hit that first bite, I eat it all.
Ha 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 ha. I can't believe he called it going red. Chris says that when he prepares his meals in the kitchen, he uses his head and not his brain. That's why once he's done, he has so much food on his head. Once he starts eating, he can't stop himself. Phew, that's honestly not good.
My brother Tommy and my sister Crystal. If it was Taco Tuesday and Mom happened to bring home a big bag of tacos, if you didn't eat as much as you could eat, they weren't there when you went back later.
Well, that clearly explains a lot if we're being honest. Chris's mom says that she takes most of the blame because when Chris was a child, she never stopped him from eating as much as he wanted. Anytime his siblings could not finish their meals, Chris was the food bin of the family because he never liked to waste food.
She'd come home, drop off, some money or some food, and then she would come home for a couple days. She's just gone all the time. I was 13 years old. I really wanted to go do stuff, and there was a lot of times I couldn't go anywhere and I couldn't see my friends because I had to stay home and watch my brother and sister. But what had really been happening is that...
Let's not even lie. He looked good when he used to play football. Chris remembers when he was much younger. He had muscles, and almost every girl in high school wanted him. The big question now is, how did he go from that to what he currently is?
But besides all that, somehow me and Kaylee really hit it off. So I moved in with her, and I found a better job working at a call center. And then it was good times. The best thing I remember of those days was getting really healthy.
That's so sweet. Now he makes me feel like a baby. Chris says that his daughter is the center of his universe, and it makes him happy that he has the most beautiful daughter in the world. One thing is for sure, he needs to make the right decision so he can always be there for his little Zoe.
I think we just both knew it was coming. We decided to separate. There was no fight, but breaking up was hard on me. I would see Zoe, but I missed Kaylee. I didn't have anyone to do anything with anymore, so every night after work, I would just go eat food.
Damn, that is something that would make most people break down. Chris says that his breakup with his ex took a toll on him. Aside from that, the company he worked for shut down, and he had to travel to another city to start all over. His best friend was none other than food.
I was just completely blown away. I just lost the best job that I'm going to get. I was making really good money, and that was the kind of the tipping point where I gave up. I'm up over 500 pounds at that point.
His mom has got to be the best. Chris told her about his condition and everything he was going through, and his mom dropped everything she was going and decided to come meet up with him. No one can love you better than your mom. And this is a very good example.
Tell me I had this many stairs.
Yeah, it takes forever.
Hey, you.
Hey, Mom. I miss you.
I miss you too, sweetheart. Oh, my stars. You didn't tell me.
Well, you know now.
Yeah, I do.
I look great, right?
You always look great. You're my son, but yeah, that's hard. Yeah, I can't speak, but you know what I mean.
I could sit down here and listen to him and his mom talk all day. It's been 6 years since they saw each other, and his mom tells him that if he called sooner, she would have been here. Things might not have been this bad. Their bond will make you miss your mom. Trust me.
That's everything. Just don't let me forget my wallet on the way out.
All right, then let's go and go. Go and go. Go and be there, that's it.
Bed again. So I got an appointment with Dr. Now, and it's actually tomorrow. So me and my mom are heading out for Houston.
You can't but love the fact that Chris has agreed to make the bold step. He is packing up things with his mother, and they are about to make the drive to Houston to see Dr. Now. Looks like his mom coming to see him was a good influence.
Worse?
Well, hey, this will keep you on your toes.
Toes? Hell, I want to keep on all four tires.
Fair, because we're about to go through probably one of the worst parts of it.
Talk about slow.
Just make sure you watch the lines, too.
Somehow it doesn't come as a surprise that they have to break the journey. Chris says that his body is starting to hurt a lot, and he needs to rest before things get out of hand. At least he has his mom to keep him company. She seems to be a really fun person.
Chris?
I wish my mom wasn't going to see my actual weight. I'm embarrassed for her to see it. She already knows I'm over 600 pounds. I just hope it's not a lot higher than that.
Your weight is 620. We're going to room 5.
Okay. I'm actually a little relieved that my weight isn't more out of control. I am still embarrassed of that number.
Wow. 620 pounds is a lot. Chris gets to the hospital, and he is finally able to check what he weighs. He is on the high side, and you can see the fear written all over his face. I'm sure he feels like Dr. Now won't want to help him out, but let's see how the meeting goes.
This is all going to be up to Chris. And the question is, with his mom coming back in his life, if she's going to be the support he needs, or she's going to end up enabling him.
Well, that concludes the first meeting Chris will be having with Dr. Now. The doc wants him to lose 80 pounds in 2 months and also wants him to work on his eating habits. He assured the doc that he was going to meet the target. Is he up to the task?
Those onions?
Yeah. We had a lettuce wrap with the stuff he had in it. I didn't really like adding in full.
All right, and clean up.
Yeah.
I'm back in Houston. It's been a long time since I've been small enough to fit behind the wheel.
Let's be honest, it's really impressive that Chris was able to drive himself to the hospital without the help of his mom. There were doubts, but Chris seems to be doing pretty well with his weight loss journey. Hopefully he meets the cut and gets her his surgery done.
Okay, now step up on the scale.
And that's all going to come down to this weigh-in and if I made it to my goal or not. To lose 80 pounds by today. So I'm really hoping I did. My last appointment, I was 620, and Dr. Now told me to lose 80 pounds by today for my goal. So that means I should be down to 540 if I met that goal.
Ish, just 20 pounds short, but that's still some very impressive progress. From the moment he drove himself to the hospital, you could honestly tell that he had lost quite a lot of weight. But is this good enough for his surgery?
That would be crazy.
To make a good progress, you get your frame of mind in the right place and goals to help motivate you. So you're going to succeed with that. Just keep it up. So as soon as you move down to Houston, let me know.
Good news, good news, good news. Dr. Now is proud of how far he has come. He wants Chris to lose some more weight, and once he is able to do that, he is going to get him approved for weight loss surgery.
Fine. And I'm really hoping that means that I can get on the schedule for surgery here very soon.
Try to steal my seat, man.
He'll be in soon.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Hello.
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good.
That is actually awesome. And yet again, Chris has been able to cut down his weight and meet the new target Dr. Now wanted him to get to. One thing I'm sure about is that Chris is going to get his surgery. Good one, Chris.
I'm excited about our progress and how we're doing. And I'm happy to keep showing Dr. Now how I'm serious about this and that I can do what I said I would do.
Hello.
Hello.
How y'all doing? Great. Well, Chris, you lost 238 pounds, so you've done a good job in losing weight. I am proud of you and your family.
Stephanie's biggest fear is that she might not wake up on a random morning. Every time she sleeps, her weight puts so much pressure on her chest and lungs, resulting in so much pain when she wakes up. Is this going to make her work with Dr. Now to get better? Let's find out. Stephanie's story begins like this.
I live with just my kids, but my mom and stepdad come over just about every day to help me do what I need to do.
Good morning. Morning. You ready? Yeah, I got your stuff. Hang on for me.
Honestly, I'm glad Stephanie does not stay all by herself. She is surrounded by her kids. Her mom and stepdad also drop in every day to help her with anything she needs. She might weigh a lot, but at least she has a family that loves and cares about her.
Affects my life because I don't want to do anything without her, so I don't. I've put my life on hold.
And that's what she really needs. Stephanie needs all the love, support, and care she can get at this point. Her mom says that she has put her life on hold to make sure that her daughter gets all the support she could possibly need. In situations like this, family is everything.
I catch my breath, I let my body feel a little better, and then I get up.
Feel better? 1, 2, 3.
And after that, I'm normally in my living room all day long.
For a second there, I honestly thought she was going to cry. Wow, it's heartbreaking that she has to feel this way. She said most of the time, and the only thing that cheers her up is when she eats with her family. We can all agree that her family will always be by her side.
And so I met somebody, and I moved in with this guy. Found out he was an alcoholic that liked to abuse. I had no support whatsoever.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine how Stephanie would have felt when they told her that her dad passed away. Stephanie's mom says that she had a falling out with her husband, and when they finally agreed to work things out, he died in an accident. That's just sad.
They took me into foster care because my mom didn't have a proper place for us to live. And it was really hard. I didn't get to cry. I get told he died, and then I get taken away from my mom.
You honestly can't fault her for running to food as an escape. Her dad passed away, and she was taken to foster care because her mother had nowhere to stay. It was almost as if she lost both of her parents. If I were in her shoes, food would probably be my best friend.
And now I have 3 kids, each with different dads. The only constant in my life was food. Food's just there when I need it. And I haven't yet, to this day, found the go-to person that does that. You finished?
One moment, you think she has been through enough. The next moment, she's saying another traumatic experience. Stephanie is 36 years old and she weighs 600 pounds. This happened due to the fact that she had to be bedridden for a while as a result of a bad accident she had.
Is that close enough? Yeah. I put the arms up for you.
Is the seat all the way back?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have to push me
even if it's wheels.
I know.
I know it's gonna go uphill.
Huh? I'll grab the basket and...
Well, you might have to push me up the hill. That's the part I don't like.
Man, I would hate myself if people saw me in this situation. Stephanie hates going outside because she feels like everyone looks at her with disgust and it makes her feel less of herself. I'm happy her mother doesn't make her feel that way.
Her situation's got to the point where I think it's becoming deadly. I'm having a really hard time with it. She's my best friend.
Hold on. Ow, my leg's stuck.
Got it?
Yeah, the balls.
Well, that was a pretty stressful outing for both Stephanie and her mom. Stephanie's mom is worried that her daughter's situation has gotten too deadly, and if they don't act now and try to make things better, they might lose Stephanie, and that will be devastating.
I don't know about that one, but I will. I will call you all the time. My mom's going to watch the kids while we're gone, and my stepdad is doing the driving, and I'm really grateful for that.
All right, Stephanie, you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready to go.
Come on, let's do this.
I think that's the same thing that's going through everyone's mind. Stephanie's appointment with the doctor is in 7 days, and she is worried that her body can't handle being on the road for an entire week. I'm just glad that she's ready to work on her weight for real.
All the bumps and windy roads. Trip so far is pretty long, pretty hard on me right now. Been swelling a lot, especially the lower ball that I have down there in my leg.
Stephanie has been on the road for almost a week now. She has had to break her trip into bits so her body doesn't give up before she even makes it to the hospital. She's 9 hours away from Houston, and she's still very nervous about seeing Dr. Now.
We finally made it to Dr. Now's office to get his help to lose weight. My first appointment with him. Right now, I have to see the truth. I'm not looking forward to it. My highest weight was a little bit over that, so I'm happy that I've lost a little bit.
We're going to room 5.
But I'm still embarrassed.
Well, on the bright side, that's not her worst weight, so there's still hope. Stephanie is embarrassed by what she currently weighs. She's second-guessing the whole thing and hoping that the doc still wants to put her on the program.
It took her 6 days to get down here, and she came here with her stepdad, and she eats uncontrollably. And she doesn't know why she's heavy, why she's obese, and she eats very high-calorie food.
We can all agree that Dr. Now is not pleased at all. He says that her eating habit is the worst, and on top of that, she has a family that enables her to eat in a very unhealthy manner. Looks like he is about to put a stop to all of that.
All right, guys. I am gonna go try to cook dinner. When I call you, you go to the table, right? The past month, I've been staying on track, and I feel like I've made more progress with everything. I've been doing the diet, and I started making my own meals more often. My mom has really bad fibromyalgia, but it's forcing me to do more on my own.
So far, she's actually been making a reasonable amount of progress. Stephanie says that she can't go to see the doc for a follow-up appointment because her mom is sick and there's nobody to take care of her kids if she heads back to Houston.
And we tried to call you several times and never got the answer, so what's going on with you?
A lot. My phone broke, so I didn't have a phone for a while, but I've been doing everything I can to lose the weight, to get out and do more things.
Do you feel like you lost any weight?
Yes. I actually went to the doctor about 2 weeks ago.
Dropping down to 530 pounds is actually very impressive. Stephanie's mom is still under the weather, so she decides to video call the doc. It seems to me like the doc is pleased with the progress she has made so far, but of course she still needs to do better.
I know it's been longer than that, but I'm hoping if I hit my original goal, he'll be happy enough to move forward with me.
Step up on the scale.
So to hit that number, I have to be 561.
Yes, ma'am.
What? How did that happen?
Damn, even she can't believe what the scale just revealed. She makes it to the next doctor's appointment, and instead of losing weight, she added more weight than the previous time. Men, Dr. Now is not going to like that.
So there's going to be something that we're going to try to work with both of you to make you healthy and do that.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So stick with the diet
okay.
And lose 50 pounds too much.
Like I said, the doc was not going to be pleased with her progress. Dr. Now believes that Stephanie is not ready to take charge and do better with her journey. He says that she plays mind games and she is not ready to do better for herself. Looks like she might not meet her target after all.
But in the end, she's just looking for someone to come in and solve her problem and do the work for her by giving her weight loss surgery. And that's not going to happen. But if she decides that at some point to put forth the effort.
Entrean believes that if she does not work on his weight problem, she could be bedbound for the rest of his life. Every day when he wakes up, he wonders if he is fighting a losing battle with his weight. He has so many medical issues that make him question if life is even worth it. His story begins like this.
I have congestive heart failure. I'm in advanced stages of diabetes. I have 2 or 3 different doctors that said I'll be lucky to even see 40. The worst is already beginning to happen. It's definitely no way to live. I take about 13 to 14 different medications to make sure my heart does not fail. And that's the only thing that keeps me out of the hospital.
Damn, this has to be one of the most unbelievable situations on this show. Entrean has congestive heart failure, and this requires him to take about 13 to 24 different injections just to keep his heart from shorting down. Jeez, I am speechless.
Just in the last month, recently, due to my health concerns, me and my wife, I have moved in with my mom, gotten to the point to where there are things that I need help with. It's just too much for Musa to do to help provide what is needed, and
it's good that he is careful when he tries to do things on his own. Entrean says that he has a wife and a mom to take care of, and the fact that he is this big is not going to stop him from doing that. But let's be honest, Entrean might not be here for that long if he doesn't do better with his health.
I'm not gonna do that.
Well, babe, okay. Well, babe, why don't we put some of that cheese on there, on the rice?
No.
My relationship with food is definitely a very unhealthy relationship. But with all my health issues and just the pain that it takes for me to do.
From what he just said, you can tell that his life has not been an easy one. Knowing fully well that his eating style is not healthy, he says that the only thing that helps him forget his life and past trauma is good. I wonder what happened to him while he was growing up.
Every Sunday, we can guarantee that we was there at church. And so that was a good thing. It helped me stay grounded.
Food was just a big thing in our home. My mom was a cook. My aunties are cook.
Aha! Now that explains it. Entrean's mom says that food was always available in their home. Almost everyone in the house was a cook, but what really started his eating problem was the fact that, as a child, he got everything he wanted. Both the ones that were not good and the ones that were good.
Being big helped intimidate customers who came to steal things. And that's when I started to have health issues of my own. And I got diagnosed with congestive heart failure. And then the cardiologist cut me off as her patient. And she said that there's nothing that we can do for you.
Man, am I thankful he didn't follow through with his attempt to take his life. Entrean says that after he lost his job and was diagnosed with his heart disease and his doctor, and the time told him that she couldn't help him anymore, he wanted to end his life, but God came to his rescue.
We have been going strong over 2 years, but at the same time, I began gaining weight. And then it just gradually kept going up. You know what the rice is missing?
Butter?
You bet.
I'm not gonna be doing that kind of rice.
I do thank God that I do have a wife that is willing to be there to help me out.
When I met him, he was moving around. I saw that he was willing to change, and so I gave him.
I love that. It's always good to have a partner who wants the best outcome from everything. Entrean's wife says that she thought her husband would change over the years, but he hasn't. Now he wants a family, and the only way she is going to agree is if he decides to lose weight.
But Musa's thing is, I need you to stand there with her. So she's saying no to a wedding, and I understand it because that's wedding. You want to be able to stand. And if he could, it wouldn't be very long. Those are the things I'd love to see for him. But first of all, his health. It's the weight, of course, just getting it off.
Man, imagine being in a constant battle with yourself. It must be really challenging for him to be in such a sad situation. One thing I know is the fact that Entrean is a strong man, and he is definitely going to make the right decision, because at this point, he doesn't have much of a choice.
And I haven't ridden that far in a car in a long time, so I know that it's going to be painful on me. And I'm not looking forward to that. I just know that I need this help, and I don't have another plan besides getting it.
I gave you the keys?
No, you got them.
Entrean is about to make a 7-hour drive to Houston, and the crazy thing is that he hasn't driven that far and that long in a very long time. He is worried that his body is going to go through a lot of stress. The good side to that is that he is going to finally see Dr. Now.
My only hope is that my weight hasn't gotten so far out of control that Dr. Now won't even agree to help me. I'm just hoping that I'm in the 600s.
Your weight is 702.
Oof, that's a lot.
Okay, we're going to be going to room 5.
Yes, it is.
Damn. That's actually a lot. Entrean makes it to the hospital, and when he checks his weight, he is in disbelief. He weighs over 700 pounds, and you can see it on his face that he is scared that the doc might give him some bad news.
But you got to be serious about this.
Yeah, I know.
It's up to you now. Speak up to you.
It sounds like Entrean has had opportunity to get help with his weight in the past. And what's concerning me is that, aside from a brief period in his 20s...
Well, we can't argue with that. Entrean has had so many opportunities of trying to work on his weight, but he keeps waiting for a miracle to happen, and the doctor is definitely now going to give him that. He either puts in the work or deals with the consequences.
Then do that. Being at 700 pounds, you can easily lose 60 pounds in 1 month.
Okay.
Okay? But what I'm going to give you as a goal is to lose 80 pounds in 2 months. If you cut the sugary stuff and all that, you can easily lose more than that.
Okay.
But minimum 80 pounds in 2 months. And if you do that, then we're going to work with you.
Okay.
Phew, that's finally over. There was a lot of scolding, but at least the doc was able to pass the message. Now he wants Entrean to lose 80 pounds in 2 months. The big question now is if he is going to put in the work or continue to expect a miracle.
Let's go. No. And when we get halfway, I'm giving you this ball.
No. You know, that wasn't so bad. Moving my body all those ways, when you haven't worked out in so long, helps to remind you how out of shape you are.
That's it. Come on.
For me, right now, there's a bit of shame.
We've got to hand it to Entrean. He is actually putting some serious effort into burning down some of his weight. I mean, it's not easy, but you can see that he is actually determined to lose weight and meet his target. That's really good for him.
I want to be able to celebrate like everyone else. It's not fair if I'm not able to do that. I think I'm ready to do it. I hope I am.
Seeing him smile just makes me happy. Entrean is finally able to leave his house conveniently. He goes with his mom and wife to church, and you can see him at his best. Who knows, he might become the pastor he always wanted to be after all.
But since then, it's been a lot of celebrating. And so I slipped up on some of my diet, but I still worked hard to do my best. And I'm hoping to see some good results. Maybe even a little bit better than last time.
You can step on the scale.
And just like that, his dreams of getting his weight loss surgery come down crashing. Entrean says that there has been a lot of celebration in his life recently, and that has caused him to go out of his diet. Seems like he is about to pay the price. Let's hear what the doc has to say.
We have given you every chance to lose weight, but you're not taking it, you're throwing it away, and you're not doing the right thing. So when are you going to change?
I thought that I was ready.
Surprisingly, Dr. Now seemed to be very calm, but he didn't hide the truth from Entrean. He really needs to do better if he wants to get approved for surgery. The doc tells him again to lose 80 pounds in 2 months. Let's hope he does that this time around.
It really does, so it's just been a struggle these last few months.
Entrean?
But I know that I'm going in a positive direction now more than ever. I just need my progress to be enough. At my last appointment, I weighed 689 pounds.
Ouch! The sight of that alone hurts. It's like Entrean is back to where he started from. Instead of losing weight, he gained 15 pounds, and that just wrecks the whole thing. Men, it's really sad because he was doing so well with his weight loss journey.
And it looks like that includes psychotherapy too. Did you learn anything from starting therapy?
What I learned is that I needed to deal with the emotional baggage that I have and to process it and learn how to overcome it.
Eat them. Come on. Eat death, Lindsay. Eat death.
Most times, you would think that patients who come to see Dr. Now would give up after the first few appointments. But sometimes these guys just go on to make some of the best comebacks you'd ever see. And these are some of those moments.
It's falling apart, and I'm in constant pain. To where now I can barely live my life. But I still try to struggle and make myself do basic things so my husband doesn't have to.
I'm getting up and taking a shower.
But that's getting to be too hard for me, too. So my weight's affecting my whole world.
And I am miserable living in this body.
Imagine having to thank God for waking you up every morning. That's just crazy. But honestly, it's good that she can still move around given her current size. She says that she doesn't want to stress her husband, so she tries to do the little things that she can. Walking around the house is such a chore because it makes her feel so much pain.
I was able to shower every day, but now I take a shower every other day because my mobility has went downhill extremely within the last 6 months. Even now, 5 minutes into my shower, my whole body's in a lot of pain.
Well, she isn't wrong. As much as having her bath is quite stressful and painful for her, Lindsay has to do so because she wants to prevent her folds from getting infected. If they do, that's just going to be the absolute worst. But I mean, it's good to see that she can still carry herself to the shower to have a proper bath.
But I know it's all going to be worth it when Paul brings me my first meal of the day.
I'm back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I gotta head to work. Here's your stuff. There you go. All right, love you.
Love you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
I'll see you later.
Okay.
Phew. That's a lot of junk food. I can't believe she is having all of that for just breakfast. Seems like the only thing that Lindsay gets to think about and is also happy about is food. Once she's done with one, she is already thinking about the next thing she is going to put into her stomach.
My weight was around 120 pounds.
I felt like I was cooking balanced meals that were good for them, but then I noticed an increase in Lindsay's weight, and I think that was because her dad brought her home candy bars, ice cream, or pizza. And she thought, well, he doesn't care, I don't care.
Looks like we know where she picked up her bad eating habits. Apparently, her mother would give her and her siblings controlled meals, which didn't make them fat. It was her dad that felt the need to always give her snacks and junk food because he also liked eating a lot. And in the end, Lindsay grew into an insane size.
Done with a new family instantly. Like we never even mattered. And that hurt a lot, but it was nothing compared to what he did to me next. I had gotten a job at a fast food restaurant, which didn't help with my eating habits. So by the time I was 18, I was up to just over 380.
That is just awful from her father. The same person who made her love food is the same person who broke her into a million pieces. He left her mother and married another woman almost immediately. As if that was not enough, she saved up to buy a truck, and her father stole the truck to marry his third wife. Imagine that.
I friend in my mid-20s, and it was exciting for me, but it was the worst thing that could have happened for weight gain, because I was getting close to being over 500 pounds. But my boyfriend wanted me to keep getting even bigger. He was feeding me. He was making me bigger. He was like, oh, you want seconds? Do you want thirds? You wanted me to be the biggest I could be.
I'm not even surprised that food is her best friend at this point. Having to go through all of this can actually make someone lose their life. She had a boyfriend who constantly beat her, and the only way she could cope with all the trauma was to run to food at any given point. Poor Lindsay.
Because that's how I met Paul.
I came across Lindsay and I saw her profile and I really liked it, so we exchanged phone numbers and we started talking and we eventually met up with each other. I knew Lindsay was the one when I first gazed into her eyes. I knew that was the girl.
Now that's a very bad combo. Her husband has an addiction to alcohol, and Lindsay has an addiction to food. She even says that it's the reason they bond so well, and that's why they are happy in their marriage. Sadly, this addiction has made Lindsay weigh more than she has ever weighed.
Either gonna die soon or lose Paul. I just don't want him to get frustrated or really exhausted to the point that he leaves me, because I know it disappoints him.
She's killing herself slowly. I love her so freaking much, but I'm watching her die right in front of me. I feel helpless.
Am I glad to hear that? Oh yes, Lindsay has decided that she is ready to see Dr. now. She knows that her eating habit is killing her, and she wants to make changes for the better. Her husband is also very worried that she might just end up eating herself to death, and he can't stand it anymore. Going to see the doc is honestly the best idea for Lindsay at this point.
I really did try my best. But for the past hour, the pain's been too much for me. It's coming up right here. So I just need something to eat, and then I have to rest before I pass out. I would like a jumbo tenderloin with everything on it, onion rings, and then what do you want?
I just had a feeling this was going to happen. Lindsay and her husband have been on the road for a couple of hours now. Lindsay thought she could complete the whole journey without trying to eat. As you can see, that's no longer going to happen. She stopped to get some food because she's hungry and her body is starting to feel some pain.
To find out if he'll help me or not.
You okay?
Oh, I'm sore. Because getting Dr. Now's help is the only hope I have left. It's been a few years since I had my weight checked, but I'm not really sure what number to expect once I get on the scale. All I know is that whatever it is, I'd rather not know it.
Well, that's not a good look on their faces. They finally make it to the hospital and Lindsay checks her weight on the scale. It's been a while since she did that and that made her anxious. She checks her weight and to her surprise, she weighs 647 pounds. I'm sure that Dr. Now won't like that.
What you do, if we move ahead with you, is move down to Houston for at least a year. Do you think you can do that?
Yes.
Okay, good, because Iowa is too far to travel back and forth to be part of the program.
She definitely has her work cut out for her. Dr. Now wants to know if she can have another weight loss surgery since she already had one in the past. He also wants her to lose 75 pounds within the next 2 months before he can ascertain if a surgery can even be done. Well, let's hope she's cut out for all of this.
Anytime soon. Paul, it's ready.
This looks nice.
You like
Are
it?
you freaking kidding me? The Italian stuff? Lindsay's been struggling with the diet a little bit, and when I try to help her, she doesn't like that. So we're fighting a lot, and I'm just trying to realize what needs to happen.
It looks like Lindsay is starting to be the problem. Her husband says that Lindsay has been struggling with the diet that the doc gave to her, and anytime he tries to help her follow it, she gets mad at him. This makes them fight almost all the time, and he doesn't like the fact that all their effort might go to waste.
It's not a cheeseburger, but yeah, it is really good. This is so hard. If I'm gonna stick to the calorie limit I'm trying to stay at, then that's the last bit of food I can have today. So the only thing I can think of is just to go to bed and try and sleep off the hunger pains.
Well, her husband is definitely angry, and he is not hiding it. He is mad at the fact that Lindsay is not following the diet the way she should, and right after having dinner, she wants to snack. Let's just hope that this doesn't lead to a setback with Lindsay's weight loss journey.
A lot lately, and it's really been stressing me out a whole lot. And so I've told him if he can't respect my process and how I need to do this, then I don't need his support. So my mom said she'd come with me this time and be there for me since Paul clearly isn't. But now that I'm here at Dr. Now's,
that's definitely not a surprise at all. She has not followed the diet the way she should have, and now she's lost only 28 pounds instead of 75 pounds. We all know that Dr. Now is not going to like the fact that she hasn't made very good progress.
I know the truth. The truth is you really don't want to change. And I know that because you already had one weight loss surgery and you failed it. Because you don't want to give up the food that you like that's killing you. So this is a very bad situation we have with you.
For her sake, let's hope what the doc just said sticks in. He gives her the same goal and wants her to lose the same weight within the next 2 months. If she fails to meet the goal, she is not going to get her weight loss journey, and she will be off the weight loss program.
me and Irene are at Dr. Now's for my next appointment and to find out if I hit my weight loss goal so I can get approved for surgery. And I'm confident I'm going to have a big loss. At my last appointment 3 months ago, I was down to 619, and Dr. Now told me I had to lose 75 pounds.
Looks like we have another bad progress. Lindsay is not having JT easy at all, especially with the fact that her husband has refused to be a part of her weight loss journey. This is her 3rd appointment with Dr. Now, and she still has not been able to meet the target that she was given. Does she really have what it takes?
2 months, and if I don't hit it, I don't get surgery.
So what are you gonna do?
I don't know.
It's up to you.
I'm so discouraged and I feel really lost right now. And once again, I don't feel like Paul understands what I'm going through and dealing with. I just feel like everything's starting to fall apart and I don't know what to do.
Ooh, that's really not good. This has to be the worst thing ever. Lindsay is still finding it very difficult to get to her weight goal, and the worst part about everything is the fact that her husband does not even encourage her in any way to want to lose weight.
I know I need to focus on me. I hope Paul does what he says. But no matter what choices he makes or what happens, I have to do what I need to focus on my health right now. Hey, Irene. Thinking about doing a little workout.
Okay.
So no more justifying not doing Dr. Now's diet and plan.
Look at Lindsay go. Looks like she does have what it takes to lose weight after all. Even without the help of her husband, she's putting in the work and she seems to be doing pretty okay. Let's hope this time around she hits the mark and gets approved.
And the second thing is, you have previous sleep gastrectomy, which means there may be scar tissue or other issues that may limit our options with the revision or prevent us from doing the weight loss surgery. So I'm going to schedule you for an endoscopy to look inside of your stomach and see what the situation is.
Okay.
This is Travis's story. Travis hates the fact that he is killing himself with food. He hates it because he has to put his wife through so much because he can't control his eating. He is 31 years old, and believe me when I tell you, he has no idea what he weighs. Everything has become such a struggle for him. Will the doc be able to save him from himself? Let's find out. This is how his case begins.
It's hard for me to believe and accept how my life is now because of my weight. Everything's become such a struggle for me that I hardly even get up from the couch.
But I refuse not to bathe. If I ever get to that point where I'm not going to bathe, then that's me saying I give up.
At least he knows that if he allows things to get to that level, it's not going to be good for him at all. Travis struggles to have his bath every morning because he does not want to let things get to that point. Imagine being this big and not having your bath. That would be disastrous.
I just can't reach all the places I need anymore. Very humiliating.
Travis needs my help to stay clean. It's a lot on me, and it bothers him because it makes him feel like he's not being a man. Every now and then he'll be like, I'm sorry, babe, you gotta do this. I'm sorry, babe, you gotta do that. But I took the vows. I gotta take care of him.
That's honestly sad. Travis hates the fact that he has to ask his wife to help him do anything. He says that it's not the life he promised her, and it sucks that she has to be the one to do almost everything. On the bright side, it's good that he has an amazing wife who wants to be there with him through everything.
Probably more than most people. And more than I should. And once it starts, it's very hard for me to stop, so I eat all day long. That first meal is always the best because I love breakfast. And I can't wait for Yasmin to bring me my first serving so I can get to it.
When it's time for him to eat, it's time for him to eat. So I feel guilty.
Well, his wife is not wrong. She says that she feels guilty because she gives Travis so much food that it fills up his plate. Travis always looks forward to having breakfast. What's funny is that his plate is always so filled up, and the moment he is done, he is already thinking of what he'd eat next.
Until my dad left my mom, so my mother worked a lot to provide for her. Most of the time, all I had was my older brother, Gerard. So I could eat as much as I want, and there was no one there to stop me. So, I started to put on a little weight then, but not a whole. When I was 10, my weight was maybe around 120 pounds.
300 pounds? Wow, that's a lot of weight for that age. Travis's love for food started when his dad and mom split up. What really hit him hard was when his brother, whom he loved so much, left him to live with his dad, and that just felt like betrayal to Travis. The only way he could put up with his brother leaving was to eat.
Any sort of big or formal wedding? Because my weight was over 500 at that point.
It would have been hard for him to walk down the aisle. He couldn't find a tux, to fit in. So we figured we'd have a big wedding later on, but then his weight started to play a factor. And now when I look at Travis, I don't know if we're gonna have a wedding.
At this point, I think he should start thinking about seeing the doctor. He feels so sad because he promised his wife after they got married that he would lose weight and try to live a healthier life. Sadly, all he has done is put on so much weight that he can't even work anymore, and his wife has to do work to provide for him and the kids.
But I do worry my wife is gonna give up on me. Say, look, enough is enough.
Travis's body's breaking down in front of my eyes. His leg, his back, his arm. It's horrible sometimes.
So my weight is not just destroying my life, it's hurting my family.
Travis's mother is not wrong though. Travis is killing himself with all the good he consumes. If he keeps up with this behavior, things might turn out for the worse. It's high time he made the choice and headed down to Texas to see Dr. Now because he doesn't have so much time anymore.
This is just a really important moment in my life, and I needed to go my way. And the whole trip took a toll on me. I'm also nervous about Yasmin seeing my weight. I remember seeing her face the last time she found out how much I actually weighed.
Henry Travis?
And it filled me with shame when she reacted with shock.
That's actually very high. Looks like what he was afraid of is now his reality. Travis was afraid that he might weigh 600 pounds or less. He makes it to the hospital and checks his weight. To his surprise, he is over 600 pounds, and the look on his wife's face shows that she is not happy with those numbers.
It's very important we get you to where you're more active and mobile, and you have goals and dreams for things you want to do in your life. What is your goal?
First of all, to get down size, but I want to have a real wedding, give my wife a real wedding.
That's a good event. So use that to motivate you to work hard and start making these changes, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's hope that Travis is able to follow everything the doc has said. He wants Travis to follow a particular diet and wants him to lose a certain amount of weight within the next 2 months. The only way he can get weight loss surgery is if he meets the goal. Does Travis really have what it takes to make the changes that he needs?
It's not your fault.
And no, what you think about it, I'll always be like, you need to go on a diet, you need to do this, you need to do that. But I go to the store and get this stuff. Even when you don't ask for stuff, I get it for you. And I'm part of the damn problem, and that hurts because I want my marriage back. I want so much for us. I want to do everything we said we're going to do, and
His wife must really feel bad. The reason for her breakdown is the fact that she's just realizing that she is part of the reason why Travis is the way he is. She says that she feels so bad because even when Travis doesn't want any food, she goes to the store and she gets him the type of food that makes him fat. At least she promises to be better.
Your weight should be by the end of this year.
250?
250?
What? That's too much?
Do you know how much weight that is?
Yeah, 200. That's like almost 200 and something pounds, 270 something pounds you have to lose. I just have faith in you, and I know you can do this, man. It's your life.
I'm pushing.
It's really good to see that both Travis and his wife are putting in the effort to make sure that Travis meets the target before his next appointment. They've been following the diet the doc gave them, and it does seem like things are going to work out just fine. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. He is not there just yet.
I can drive again. So I'm feeling good, and I'm expecting to see a big weight loss today. At my last appointment 2 months ago, I was 617. And Dr. Now's goal for me was to lose 70 pounds by this appointment. So to hit my goal, I have to be down to 547 pounds today.
Looks like that's not going to happen. Travis followed the diet word for word, and somehow all he has been able to do is lose 24 pounds in 2 months. We all know that Dr. Now is not going to like the progress that Travis has made. Let's see what he has to say about Travis's performance.
Do the diet to lose some weight too. But you're running out of time. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I'm very sure.
And if you want to get where you can give your body the weighting you want, then you have to make these changes now. But you can't do that if your body gives that and you don't make it.
Understand?
Well, the doc has said his piece. All that's left now is for Travis to do what he has to do to get better. This is his second chance to make things right, and he has no other choice than to lose enough weight so he can meet his target and also get approved for his weight loss surgery.
Me and Yasmin are back at Dr. Now's for my 3rd appointment, and I'm about to find out if I got to the goal I need this time. At my last appointment 2 months ago, I was 593, and the goal I was given was to lose 70 pounds by today. So I need to be under 523 if I accomplish that.
Ha ha ha, you can see it all over his face. He has done so well and he is proud of himself. I wouldn't expect anything less. Travis has been able to meet his target, and right now all that's left is for the doc to approve him for weight loss surgery. Let's see if that's what's going to happen when the doc speaks to him.
I'm proud of you. You did great, but this isn't a magic cure. You still gonna need to work hard, okay?
You're right.
Okay, if either of you need anything, give me a call.
Okay.
Okay? Travis, I'll see you later.
Yes,
Nice
sir.
to see you again. You too. All right.
This is Lenitha's story. Lenitha is grateful for the fact that she has a job and can take care of her daughter. What bothers her is the fact that she weighs so much, and there's a high chance that she might lose that job very soon. Every time she wakes up in the morning, she wishes she could go back to so she doesn't deal with her weight. Believe me, it's horrible the way she had to live. This is how her story begins.
Because I dread having to face reality. And I just want to cry because of how much pain that I'm in, the size of my body, and how hard it is for me to do my day-to-day activities. And when I get up to go to the bathroom, I know that I'm going to be out of breath.
Imagine breaking the toilet seat when you sit on it. Wow. Lenitha must really hate the fact that she has to go through all of this every morning. Even getting out of bed every day is a struggle for her. Talk less of trying to have her bathe. She dreads having her bath because she feels like she might slip and fall.
And I don't think anybody understands how hard it is and how huge of a struggle it is for me to do anything. And I'm afraid one day that I won't be able to leave the house to work because my mobility is decreasing over time now.
Man, that just sounds like so much work. Sadly, it's the only way she can take care of her daughter. Lenitha has a job, and that's what feeds her and her daughter. Regardless of how much she weighs, she has to get up every day and get to work so she can make sure that her daughter gets everything she needs. What a sweet woman.
Do my job with my weight. My aunt keeps my daughter for me when I'm at work, and I'm very grateful because having her there in the daytime means I can keep up with my routine so that we can have a roof over our head. But it feels like each day I'm one step closer to falling apart because of my weight and because eating is my happy place.
Like she said, eating is her happy place. Aside from making sure that her daughter gets all the love and treatment that she needs, the only other thing that gives Lenitha joy is the fact that she gets to eat whatever she wants and anytime she wants. Once she starts to eat, she doesn't care about anything else.
But when they went in to do the surgery, something happened and they don't know what it was and my lungs collapsed. And after I got off the ventilator, I stayed back and forth on steroids and in and out the hospital, trying to keep my lung strength, and it was hell. This process lasted probably about 5 to 6 years.
That had to have been horrible. Lenitha wanted to have a surgery to reduce the size of her breasts because they were giving her issues. The moment she went in for surgery, her lungs collapsed. The effect of that was that she has been in and out of the hospital for as long as she can remember, just to make sure her lungs don't collapse again. To make things worse, food was the only way she could cope with the whole thing.
But it wasn't long after we got married that he started to show his true color. He was an abusive man, emotionally and verbally abusive. He would always tell me nobody else would want you and call me fat and stupid and say things to me that you should never say to anyone. But I put up with the way he treated me for a long time because I made a vow.
Wow, I can't believe she had to go through that. That must have been terrifying. Lenitha thought she had met the love of her life. After they got married, she found out that he was very abusive. And to make things worse, he cheated on her with another woman. All that just made her love food even more.
And I don't want to let her down, but I'm afraid that I already am by not trying to do better for my health and myself because I eat too much. And sometimes I ask myself, what's wrong with you? Because now I have a little person that depending on me, and I still can't stop.
At least she has something that makes her want to get better. She says that she's responsible for another life now, and she can't let her daughter grow up without a mother, so she needs to start working on herself as soon as possible. Only problem now is that she doesn't know how to stop eating the way she does.
And that the number that comes up is something that Dr. Now can work with, and that I'm not so far gone that I can't get his help and turn my life around before it's too late for me. So I'm just praying I've lost a little weight since the last time I've weighed, so that I might even be under 600.
Like she said, that's not what she was hoping to see. Lenitha made it to the hospital after a very stressful ride, hoping that she would be under 600 pounds. The scale had a bit of a surprise for her. She checked her weight and she weighs 604 pounds. I mean, it's not so far from 600 pounds, but it's still a lot of weight. Let's see what the doc has to say about her weight.
It's important you start to lose some weight. That means that you need to change your eating. You think you can do that?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you some reading material that has a 1,200 calorie a day diet in it that focuses on protein and avoids carb, and give you an idea, eat 3 times a day.
I really hope Lenitha is cut out for everything Dr. Now has said. He wants to put her on a diet that's going to allow her to lose enough weight to make the cut for weight loss surgery. He wants her to lose 60 pounds within the next 2 months because he feels that's going to be pretty easy for her to do. Let's see if she can lose that amount of weight in 2 months.
It is how huge of a struggle it is for me to be at work and to do what I do. I don't think anybody really thinks about it. So all this stuff that's happening at work, it's not going to be a good time for me to leave again to go to Houston for my next appointment.
That's not good. Lenitha has been following the diet that Dr. Now gave her, but she has missed her appointment with the doc. Her job has been taking a lot out of her, and she can't afford to stop coming to work because she needs the money to take care of her daughter's medications. Talk about someone being in a tight spot. It's really sad that she has to go through all of this.
I get what you're saying, but everybody got to eat, and I follow what you're saying about still overeating, but not the food for the next 4 years because that don't even make sense. But I understand what you're saying.
Okay, Len, do you value your life?
I do.
If you value your life, then you need to understand that you're putting your life in jeopardy with your weight.
Dr. Now is not wrong at all. Lenitha does not understand that the more she eats, the more her organs have to work, and that could make her die any moment from now. Lenitha explains to the doc that she has a lot going on at the moment, and that's making her miss her appointments and not follow the diet like she should.
And I'm real hopeful that this, plus all the cutting back that I've been doing, is going to be the change that I've been waiting for and that I've been needing for so long now.
Going down.
What I expect out of my training session today with Frank is a brutal workout. He does not care if you're tired. He does not care if you say you cannot breathe. He does not care if you say that.
Hello! Lenitha seems to be very determined this time around. She has been going to the gym almost every day since her last conversation with Dr. Now. If she keeps this up, she might actually meet the target the doc wants her to meet and finally get approved for weight loss surgery. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Right now, no matter how little you're eating, it's still too much.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? Okay. So right now, to the standard of that you were eating before, you're eating less, and you're happy with that, but the bad news is it's still too much.
Ew, she is pissed. This is her third physical visit with Dr. Now, and she managed to lose 29 pounds. She tries to explain to the doc that she doesn't eat and doesn't understand why her weight still won't drop to the required weight. Trying to explain this just gets her very angry because it seems like no one is listening or wanting to believe her. Let's see if the doc will go ahead to approve her.
You need to understand people struggling with obesity that are in your situation, because the issues leading to this is not going to go away. But nevertheless, in order to have weight loss surgery, complicated. You're gonna have to show me some level of effort that you're willing to do the work to be successful in the long term.